I might tell a joke, but I never tell a lie. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here, well honestly, today this video is inspired by one of my subscribers that emailed me, had a couple questions, and I want to let you know, girl, that you inspired me to make a video of how I got through nursing school by being a single mother, fighting inflation because I live in Florida, and living on my own.
The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you.
So my entire time in nursing school, I stayed in my two-bedroom apartment with my son the entire time. I paid all my bills by myself, the struggle, and I'm a single mom. Somehow I managed to get all through that and still not compromise my grades. Now, so you may be thinking, girl, how you was able to pay for nursing school and also pay for rent? So if you know anything about Florida, the inflation is kicking our butts. Rent is super expensive down here for no reason. Like I said, it's not gonna apply for everybody, but this is my story. Hopefully you learn something from it. I joined the military when I was 18. I did 6 years in the military. The whole purpose of me joining the military, I was a military police. The whole purpose of me joining the military at the time was for the benefits. But somehow I ended up getting caught up in the lifestyle and had to go through some trials and tribulations, but I made it out alive with my benefits. So when I applied for nursing school, I didn't pay for nursing school. You get a GI Bill. If you finish your term in the military, you are granted a GI Bill as long as you're honorable. I got my GI Bill. My GI Bill paid for, they give you a housing allowance, and then they also give you a stipend for your books, and then they pay for your tuition 100% full.
This may not pertain to everybody, but the moral of the story at the end of the day is to use your resources. If you don't get anything out of this video, you need to remember to use your resources.
Let me remind you, when you get housing expensive, you only get a certain amount of money on the first of the month, and that's it. They don't pay you no more. So I didn't work, so I didn't have an additional income. So I literally had to manage my money. Point one, you need to manage your money. So if you already know you're going to nursing school, you need to start saving your money. Like I said before, you should be having at least a year or two savings already saved before you go to nursing school. Wait until you get in there and then it hit you all in the face. You should be having a separate account with all your money already saved up, so that at least if you encounter any unforeseen forces, you can accommodate for it. Enough just to pay for all my bills. It was literally enough just to, so anything else I needed, like groceries, personal hygiene, I had to get it out the mud. Leads to my second point. Do not have too much pride to ask for help and use the resources that are out there that are available to you. For example, food stamps. Yes, I said it.
Food stamps.
Listen, it's a journey. I knew I had to sacrifice 2.5 years of budgeting, just really cutting down on the lifestyle that I was living so that I can create a better life for me and my son. So all that pride stuff need to go out the window, child. So I applied for food stamps. And guess what? I got approved. You have to understand that these things are resources to help you, and it's not a long-term thing. I had like a lot of rental assistant programs due to COVID coming about. I applied for a couple of those. So my whole thing was, if the rental assistants pay my rent for that month, my housing allowance that I use for my GI Bill can go towards my savings account I had just for living, because I didn't work. I had a whole separate savings account for living just in case, like, and it came in handy towards the end after I graduated because it took me 4 months to take my NCLEX. So I was able to pay rent and live off that savings that I had created just for school. Now, the way that I got the savings account really good is what I did was I applied for FAFSA. FAFSA is financial aid. It's the grants. So I got an associate's degree before I had my bachelor's, but again, the military paid for it. So I was never warranted any grants prior to that. So I got all my grants. I think I ended up getting like maybe $15,000 in grants. I literally saved every single check. I had every single check going to a separate account. So during my birthday, if I want to take a vacation, I ain't have no money, but I had that account. I used the account. When I was waiting to get my ATT to take my NCLEX, I paid my bills with that account. So I did that on purpose. I didn't spend none of my financial aid money. I made it all go to one account just in case. You have to plan for the future. I didn't know. Well, I had faith that I was going to pass my NCLEX, but in the meantime, for me waiting, I'm glad that I saved that money, because that was 4 months that I was like, how am I going to pay my rent? But I had already thought these things out. You have to be strategic in everything that you do. It needs to be, you need to have a plan. Thirdly, know how to budget. I'm sorry, but if you're not good on budgeting, you know you want to go to nursing school, or you about to start nursing school, you about to start cutting down on unnecessary stuff in your life that are not necessity. If it's not a necessity, let it go, babe. If you have a kid, this part is dedicated to the people who have children. So I had, at the time, I think my son was 3. He's now 5. So I want to say, know your village. Know who you could depend on in your village, and build one really quickly, a trustworthy village. So shout out to my nieces and my dad and my mom. They helped me so much with my son. So on the days that I had clinicals early in the morning, he would stay with my niece. She would even like make her job accommodate her so that it was accommodating to my schedule, and she would forever be in my debt for that. Girl, I love you. And she really was my backbone through the whole process of helping me with my son. So I'm grateful for her. My dads, they would come get him on the weekends, spend a lot of time with him so that I can study. Also my mom, I could just drop him off to my mom's house whenever I needed a break. So you have to know your village. It takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to accomplish big assignments on your life, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. So if right now you're struggling, you don't know who your village is, you need to reevaluate your circle. If you can't count on people, them people not dependable, get them out your life, especially when you're about to go to nurse school, because you're gonna see who your real friends. When you come out of it, you ain't gonna have no friends.
Because people ain't gonna want to respect your boundaries, that you gotta study, that you gotta do other things that's not important at the time, that you have to sacrifice. They're not gonna understand it, so cut them off.
So again, my son was in daycare. So I was studying when he was in daycare. So days that I didn't have lecture or I didn't have clinicals, I still took him, but I still utilized daycare. He still was in daycare. And people who can't pay for daycare, because daycare is super expensive, like for me it was $800 a month, get in those programs that help you pay for it. You need to use everything you can use. Don't be thinking you too good for nothing, because you're not gonna get nowhere with that attitude. I'm sorry, but you're not. I didn't work. For 2.5 years, I did not work. Times that he was allotted in daycare, I would study. That's how I got a lot of my studying in. And again, if you have any like major bills, like a car payment, try to pay it off before you start. Last but not least, if you know it's not just feasible, that you're not going to be able to live on your own and also pay all your bills and go to nurse school, that's okay. Honestly, if I didn't have the military benefits, I wouldn't have been able to do it either. And honestly, I would have opted out and I would have had to go live with one of my family members. So my thing is to say that most of the people I went to their school, they were living with their family members. If you have to move back in with your parents or aunt, uncle, do it. If you know that's going to help you be successful, do it. I know living with somebody else is not ideal. But I knew if I was in that situation, I would have did it. Point blank, period. You're going to have to sacrifice a lifestyle at the end of the day to get where you want to go. You're going to have to learn how to budget. You're going to learn how to put your ducks in order. You're going to learn how to prioritize certain things in your life. You're going to have to learn how to manage yourself, your kids, and the people who you surround yourself with, because that's going to be one of the major things. And lastly, take care of yourself.
And you may be like, how am I going to take care of myself if I don't have the finances to even pay for my loans for nursing school or live on my own?
Do stuff like go to the gym.
You got to get your hair done, your nails done. Do some type of self-care. Do yoga. Do something that relieves stress. Make sure that you're still putting yourself first, because it's a lot of stress and you still want to be able to manage stress.
And pray. Pray and drink water. You need a higher power working for you at the end of the day.
Don't feel like, oh my God, my life is so complicated right now.
And if you're in a relationship that's distracting, get out of it. At the time I had a boyfriend, he was great and supportive, but I do realize that I was abandoning him, and that was not fair for him. So,
you know you got one of them boyfriends or girlfriends that require a lot of attention, you might want to back off that relationship for a little bit until you finish nursing school. I know it sounds like, oh no. Listen, don't let nobody distract you from your goals.
If they can't stick it out with you while you grinding, get them out of there. I'm not here to sugarcoat with y'all.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
All right. So if you haven't took anything from this video, I hope that you understand that you have to learn to manage your life. You have to learn to sacrifice and to plan and strategize. That's what I'm trying to convey here so that you can get to your ending goal. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, go ahead and smash the like button.
The goddamn button.
I'm trying to grow the channel. I love the community I'm building here.
Trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're currently around 3,000. I know we can get there, and I promise to always bring you guys good content. If I don't have nothing good to talk about, I'm not gonna come on here.
So it is worth the watch, and I just appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the sweet emails I got, and when you guys ask me for advice, that means so much to me because it's like I don't got the answer, Sway, but I might tell a joke, but I never tell a lie. The emails I get from you guys are so heartwarming. I literally just be wanting to print them out and put them on my walls because that means so much to me that you guys entrust me with telling me what's going on and advising you of how you should go about it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to hit me up on Instagram or to email me. I'll respond. I'm very interactive, and like I said, we need to get active in those comments below. I want to talk to y'all guys. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what I can help you with. I am here for you. Let's get active in the comments. I want to talk like, can we talk for a minute? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later because I'm getting a tangent right now. So bye. Hope you enjoyed the video.